we're ready for the next game, and
Which is absolutely excellent. Because I'll leave it to you. I'm going to take a very quick comfort break.
All right,
Over to you.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is the last scheduled series of the match so far, and we have Sir Callan versus Bramboy. Men's Vitamins is also Sir Callan, same person, and it is. Let me make sure that we have the right. Sorry, 1 second. It is Men's Vitamins with the Garjonians. So, yeah, we have that all good to go. And here we go. All right. So, the map is Gran Chaco. And the players, it is Men's Sir Callan versus Bramboy, Japan versus Sweden. All right. So, Sweden, very, very good at booming. And well, with the Torps and their Caroleans, very, very good. Japan, very good at beaming also, and the Ashy are very, very good in and of itself. So we could see Ashy versus Caroleans and see the matchup between the two and see who really takes it. This could be really, really good. We see Men's Vitamins already 600 score ahead with the extra crates from Japan at the start. Just really kind of supplements their very slow food gathering. Berry bushes gather slower than the haunts. So yeah, we'll take a look at Fog of War real quick and see what Men's Vitamins is up to, what Sir Callan is up to. He's scouting using his Orchard Rickshaw around, and yeah, he's got a Consulate going up first, as is expected. You get a little bit of wood, and Consulate goes onto ports, and you get a Shrine out. Looking over at Bramboy, he has his single Explorer, a Swedish Explorer. Look at that Explorer in all of its glory, pulling out his sword and whacking that Orchard Rickshaw and then putting it back real quick. And that Orchard Rickshaw, this is a nice little pickup. The Orchard Rickshaw may not be able to make it all the way back home. I think it probably will, but in some cases, you can actually make the Orchard Rickshaw not build back at home. And that would be really, really good if you were to do so. It looks like Sir Callan is trying to use his hero to try to get in the way, try to get the Orchard Rickshaw back as much as possible, get it back into safety under the TC of Japan. Looking over at Sweden, he does go double torp on the mine, as is expected, kind of the standard build that you do with Sweden at the moment. And he's got the Cherry Orchard Rickshaw going up in base. Looking at his deck, he does not have two leather cannons. Oh, no, he does have two leather cannons. He does not have blueberries. He does have Fusilier. Very interesting card. The Fusilier is, it costs 300 coin. And it's a very good unit that's very fast. It's not a unit that is super cost efficient, but it is very effective at what it does, and that is moving around the map and taking advantage of your speed. Are you back here, Harrison?
I am back, ready to go. Oh, we have Mr. Bramboy playing as the Swedish. So Callan playing as Japan's. I was kind of expecting to see British being played in this matchup, but maybe Callan is fearing the Swedes. But British Musketeers, actually Gary Musketeers as well from Japan. I think both civs are good answers to Sweden here. I'm a bit confused actually from the Swedish pick. Maybe Sweden or Manchuria or Kamchatka may have been a wiser choice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at those llamas. Oh, I've just realised. I looked in the chat and Mr. Bramboy is saying, can't wait for Harrison to flame me. I'm like, I'm wanting to see what's gone wrong, but there should be no excusable reason to not get some llamas on this map. You know there's 2 ponds, and you know that there's 4 llamas around the outside of the ponds, and having Japan having all 8 llamas here, that's a bit of a mistake here for Mr. Bramboy. Come on, man, I expect better.
Yeah, we saw that the Bramboy's Explorer was trying to deal with the Orchard Rickshaw and trying to take advantage of it, but in so doing, we see that Men's Vitamins, Sir Callan, takes up all of the llamas. And so he gets all, I believe that's 8 llamas. And the one thing that's interesting about Sweden is llamas or livestock really, really help them out. It's a civilization that can really take advantage of it, similar to India or Japan or China or some other civs like that. But they can put the llamas by their torps and then delete it, and the torps will gather from it. It doesn't cost any villager seconds, gathers really fast from the herdables, and just does really, really well with that. But all 8 llamas goes over to Japan. Japan appreciates them for sure. We do see this Teshugo Shrine coming out, not on any hunts. That's interesting. I'm not even sure this hunt will come back to it. So that Teshugo
No,
Shrine...
you're missing it. You're missing it. You've got 8 llamas, and there's 8 slots in the Sugar Shrine. As soon as that's built, you're right-clicking those llamas onto that shrine and getting all those livestock on the biggest shrine that you have, and then just using regular shrines on hunts nearby. So that is the theory behind that Shogo Shrine drop placement. He wants it out of where those big Guanaco hunts to the left, because in Age of Empires 3, in this situation, it's random what animal actually goes onto the Shogo Shrine. So if you place it close enough, it might say, well, I'll have 3 llamas and 5 of these deers, and you're thinking, oh, that's a bit awkward. So that's probably the reason why, and he kind of wants to cover his cherry orchard placements, the berry bushes there, and the mine. That cherry orchard, though, that could be behind the town centre. I don't like it being right next to the normal berries, but
I don't know if you were here when we saw it, but the cherry orchard from Sir Callan almost went down. It went down to about 3rd HP with the Explorer from Bramboy taking it down. So that was a bit of a, I need to get this down, making sure that my Explorer, that it's not taken down. And that's also why the llamas were picked up by Sir Callan. So really interesting how that played out. We do see some shrines on the map already. We see the torps coming out from Bramboy. He's got 6 torps already out. And the llamas have not been tasked to the Toshugo Shrine. Thanks for the subs, Frightened Frenchman. Appreciate you a lot, man. And one thing that's really interesting, and it's a bit of an anomaly. I'm not entirely sure the EA team has picked up on it, but at least on RE and EP, I'm pretty sure on EP, llamas gather faster than every other herdable, despite only having 400 food max. Despite this one bugging and not going on it, it's actually it's like an anomaly. They shouldn't gather as fast as they do off of shrines, but they do. So perhaps
I would say that there is a mathematical difference between llamas, cows, sheep, and or
llamas gather faster than every other herdable, every other thing that could be on a shrine.
Duck donating $10, spamming a copy and paste into the Twitch chat there. A bit of funny read. Okay, so what I was going to say is, I think llamas, whether they gather the fastest on shrines, I think that's what you're saying, but they naturally fatten the fastest, I think, compared to cows and sheep. But when you put all the animals back onto a livestock pen, the llamas gets the least amount of bonus what livestock pen offers. Sheep, they benefit from a moderate amount, but then cows, they benefit from the livestock pen greatly, and they get fat so quickly. Those cows, they like their livestock pens.
Yeah, we see both players have hit age 2. We'll take a look at the decks really quick for you guys. No 3 Samurai, does have everything else you'd really expect. Does have 1k Wood. Does have Intervention. It's a pretty standard card, but I'm not entirely sure it's been in the previous decks that we've seen from Japan players. Taking a look real quick at Bramboy's deck, we see does have 2 leather cannons. It does have the church card, which is what you would use if you're prepared to go Jaegers. So Jaegers are very good in the Swedish upgrade, or in the church card. The Swedish upgrade from the church card makes Jaegers able to be stealthy. It might do something more. I'm not entirely sure. We do see.
Hold up. There's a card which can make Jaegers go stealth.
Yes.
Right. Let me phone up the developers very quickly, because that sounds like some utter BS. What?
Yes.
The best skirmishers in the game, the mercs, can hop. Oh my God! There's 10 Naggies coming. Okay, just guys, click your fingers, let's poof into the grass, and we'll be safe.
Yep, that's the thing. I'm just making you fall in love with Sweden all the more, aren't I?
It just keeps getting better and better. I mean, I know that the Jaeger cards in the 3rd age costs 900 coin, which is a bit of a bonus already. So it's not as strong as the German 12 Jaeger shipments, but then you can train Jaegers. You're confirmed to train Jaegers in the Sloon afterwards, which is actually a really nice kind of side effect there, and makes it one of their stronger cards in the 3rd age.
Yeah, you also have an age 4 card that makes them 20% stronger. And if you decide to not go with this card in age 3 for whatever reason, It's looking like he may intend to do so. But if you decide to go not go with it, you can. There's 3 ways to enable Jaegers as Sweden. You can either age up to 3 with a age up bonus that allows you to train Black Riders and Jaegers. You can. Here, I'll watch this a little bit. My scroll speed's a little bit too fast for going watching a fight in zoomed in mode. Sorry about that. But so there's 3 ways to enable Jaegers. There's age up to 3. You can enable Black Riders and Jaegers in the saloon. And then there's the age 3 shipment that is just Jaegers, and it enables Jaegers itself. And then there's also the age 4 card, which not only enables Jaegers, but allows them to be trained in the barracks also. So you don't have to train them only in the saloon.
Okay, that is so important to note, because one of the downside of Mercs is that you can only spam from one saloon. But if you can spam Jaegers from 3 or 4 racks in the 4th age, Jaegers, I think they're still 2 population. I think they're 2 population.
They're 2 population.
They're just so efficient.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Yeah.
Especially in a team game, you can age to 5 and get Imperial upgrades for free as the age up bonus to 5. And then they just become absolutely ridiculous. You got stealthy Jaegers that have absolutely boosted stats that you can train from barracks, and it's just crazy. It's
raid in Swedish base.
Yeah, raid in Swedish base. We see the Ashley coming here. I didn't actually see a villager go down, so really well done from Bramboy. We see some crossbow Bastieros on the side. They're gonna pick up some villagers, I believe, if Callan does see it, and those should go down. Some really, really nice pickup from him. And Ashley in the base of Bramboy. Well, Bramboy is age 3, so he sacrificed a bit of map pressure, and he's losing these Caroleans on the front line here. The crossbowmen do take down 2 villagers, a 3rd one possibly.
Bramboy's only got 28 population. He's got almost 2 shipments to send at this moment. He's trying to train another contract Hessian Jaeger. He aged up with the Jaegers, it looks like, with the ability to train Jaegers. He's trying to go for some sort of Jaeger play behind this, and now he's sending the Jaeger card. But it feels a little too late, especially those villagers out in the open being caught by those Bestieros. That's a nice pickup in its own right, and yeah, they're going down.
Yeah. That's looking really, really rough for Sweden. Sirkan has played this really, really well, and he does take down a lot of villagers. I wish I could see exactly how many villagers he had left. Lots of villagers idled during that whole time for Bramboy. Well done by Sirkan, keeping the villagers, both the villager count low and working villagers really low. So well done. We even see these villagers on the mine, which is not ideal for Sweden. And some more going down from the raid from the Ashy. This is huge. He is... Bramboy is so far behind. He's already 5,000 score behind. The Jaegers do come out. If there's anything that can salvage this, it would be the Jaegers in age 3 for Bramboy. These Jaegers are really, really bad. 40% range resist, 250 HP, 30 attack, 20 range. Really, really good unit. And we're going to see all of these actually go down, but not before they take down a few vills with them. So really, really good stuff for Bramboy here. But even better stuff for Men's Vitamins from Sir Callan.
That's also a polite way of saying it's all falling apart for Mr. Bramboy there.
Yeah, pretty much. The Jaegers are really good, but we'll go over to Sir Callan. He has 170 pop, 180. This house will go down. The shrine will go down in just a bit. So he is going to be, he'll be back up to probably 190 in just a bit. He does hit H3 with the Golden Pavilion. His villagers have not been harmed really at all. He might have lost one possibly to some earlier raids, but it's really been Bramboy on the back foot so far. These Jaegers are really, really nice. Let's see. I'm really curious if Bramboy is he is training more Jaegers. So he's training Jaegers. Let's see what Sir Callan does. He does have a stable out, and he is shipping 5 Naginata.
Yeah, I've just thought of something. I think we can actually already say that Japan may be a hard counter to Sweden, because Sweden, they really need those Caroleans. They don't really have other options in H2, and Ashy just beat the Caroleans 1-for-1. Going to the next stage, we have Jaegers on the field, we have cannons on the field, and we have Vet Caroleans. Well, Naginata's wreck all of them. They're Lancer-based cavalry, and I don't think they do bonus damage versus Karelians, but Karelians themselves don't do great damage in reverse. But if those Naginata riders get onto the Jaegers, that's good night. If they get onto the cannons, that's good night. And it's just, the eco is pretty strong as well. The Karelians are not the best siege, and actually, it looks like Japan is using Sweden's own tricks against them, or maybe Sweden, the imposter, trying to learn from the Japanese, but it's going to learn the hard way that nobody can out boom and spam Japan. Like once these Nagis get disciplined and come in for the final fight, it's just going to be pretty brutal, because the Karelians, even though that ranged bonus versus cavalry, or Naginata's high HP, range resist, they'll just shrug it off.
Yeah, chat saying Japan is a hard counter to everything. Japan's strong.
That's true. I've always hated Japan as well. These two civs, I just look at them and I want to throw up.
So, which one makes you throw up more, Harrison? That's the real question.
I think I've accepted Japan as a integral part of the game, but Sweden is so new. It's like tasting a new dish for the first time and not enjoying it, and you're just not enjoying the experience. But I'll warm some over time. I mean, I'm sure they're a fun civ to play as. I'm sure they're designed to be a fun civ to play as, but play against is a different question.
Yeah, for sure. We see a decent amount of Jaegers out. We also see the Falconets. One thing that I think Swedish players perhaps can miss is that really Karelians aren't amazing versus Cav unless they're in mass and can really take advantage of the ranged attack. We do see that, interestingly enough, Sweden's mines on the Torps are out. So that's going to be a much worse eco from him. We'll look over and see. Yeah, he's definitely struggling on coin. He only has 3 villagers on it. Has 4 Torps on it. He's gathering from mines that his Torps are on. So that effectively makes those Torps, the value of those Torps, the length of how long those Torps will be valuable, significantly go down. We do see a raid onto the villagers. This is huge. He's going to lose several villagers here. They're basically all dead already. There's nothing that Bramboy is going to be able to do to save them. He is pushing in now. He knows this is kind of a last-ditch effort. He is shipping Karelians, making them do more ranged attack versus cavalry. And he's even sending another villager to the mine. Ooh. Oh, this is rough to see, but I think, yeah, I do tend to agree with you. I think one of the weaknesses to Sweden, or weaknesses for Sweden, is both muskets and cav, assuming Sweden doesn't make pikes. And we see a fight coming in here. This will be really, really big. Well, they pull back just a little bit. And actually, I think are a really good answer to Karelians overall. We do see them coming in now. The Naginatas are coming in, going to try to get onto the Falconets, and they do get onto top of the Falconets. The Karelians trying to go in melee mode versus the Naginata. What is that going to do? That doesn't give you a multiplier versus them at all. That's rough to see. All the Naginata are going to clean up the Karelians. The Jaegers are going down to them now, and it looks like this is going to be a sweep for Japan. That hurts to see. But looks like all of the Jaegers are going to go down. That was an expensive army that Bramboy is going to lose here. And we'll see if he calls it after this. But that was a lot of Jaegers going down. Oof.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I enjoyed watching that or not enjoyed watching that, because it's beautiful and painful at the same time. I think from Bramboy's point of view, just because of that pressure from the second age, he's always felt that he was on the back foot. And when you send Jaegers, that is your power spike. That is your momentum moving forward. But actually, once the Jaegers came out, he had to defend the Ashes, raid him in base. He decided to stay in base to siege a shrine, which is on his second or third hunt at this point. And all this time, so Callan said, right, you've sent 10 Jaegers, and you're now going to Karelians. I can see that composition. Let me just go back with my better eco, because I haven't been raided. I got shrines as well, and just get the counter army. And I think Callan had it in the bag for a while and just playing safe around it. And even in that final engagement, I like how he split his cav into 3 groups, attacked from 3 different angles. He was always guaranteed to pick off one of those Falconets by one of those flanks. I mean, another flank just went into the Jaegers, and there's not really much those Karelians could do. They were just outmassed at that point. But yeah, nicely played there.
I think one of the biggest things for that game is how well did Sir Callan did on raiding Bramboy. He is at 16 villagers right now. 16 villagers. Sir Callan, Japan, which does have villager shipments. I don't believe he sent any. No, he does not have the H3 one. He sent 4 villagers twice, so that's an extra 8. So it would have been 39 otherwise. But he's up 31 bills. That's insane.
I'm sure if you keep on saying, I'm sure Mr. Bramboy would love to hear that in the chat once again. He's been watching along, and it must be a little upsetting to see that game play out. But I know Mr. Bramboy, he has the skill to come back from this. Callan will be picking his civ first onto, was it Manchuria, I believe is the map for game number 2, and maybe Mr. Bramboy can go into more familiar territory. His main civilization is France, and he's a very strong French player as well. So that's Mr. Bramboy's safety or comfort pick, and I think the next game will be a lot more competitive. Love you too, Mr. Bramboy.
All right, we're going to get into the next game in just a second here. Let's see. It is getting it now. All right, so game number 2, you said it's on Manchuria. What do you think might happen in this game? What do you think Sir Callan's going to go with as his first pick for a civ?
So when I was playing the tournaments, the Wasteland Wars number 2, I think I was about 1-0 versus Riot. I'm thinking, right, I'm on Pampas here, so I want to get my strongest civ out there to play with, just so I know that I've actually played it on the map I want to play it out. I think, Sir Callan, I think the British is a decent opportunity here to get that out and play with what he feels most comfortable with. The British very, very strong on EP9. I'm sure they're carrying over that form into Definitive Edition. Quite straightforward, but they're the Manchuria, good access to a trading post, 3-ville Virginia company. You have livestock to help gather some extra food to keep your village production going while you chop so much wood to get that mana boom going out. It's quite a high resource map, quite spread out as well, so you can kind of have lots of line of sight and mana as well the players. If we wasn't this casting live on the other game and we could see how they did in the Civ dance, that'd be quite nice to see. But I'm just guessing by Callan's Brit main. I don't think it's a bad choice, but other choices, French, Manchuria, French is always a good pick. It could be anything. You torture me, man. You torture me. I don't have enough info to go on, especially in a best of 3 with 15 civs available at Callan's hands.
Yeah, sure. 15 civs available. All right, we are into the next game here, and we are going to see the matchup, and it is let's see, one sec. It is going to be Ottomans versus Sweden. All right, so Sir Callan goes with Sweden, and it is going to be Sweden versus Ottomans. So Bramboy going, all right, you showed me with those good Ashy and good Cav. You're going Sweden. I'm going to go Ottomans. And I have really good muskets myself. I have really good Cav myself. So that's what he's going to go with.
So Callan picked Otto first, and I think I haven't seen too much.
No.
I've been checking the stream, but I haven't really been.
Callan picked Sweden first.
Wow! Callan Sweden. So I thought Mr. Bramboy was Sweden again.
No. Callan picked Sweden. Bramboy counterpicked Ottomans.
Right. Okay. Well. Okay. So Sweden first pick. Fair enough. I think Otto is a great counter pick here. I was about to say, if it was role reversal, I'll be a bit confused of the picks. Yeah. But Ottoman, I think they have a very strong time versus the new civs of Inca and Swedish. In this map and in this kind of matchup, I would like to try and see, just my own kind of curiosity. I don't want to see a tower FF from Otto. I really want to see Jan Abus colonial playstyle, capturing the trading route, stagecoach, and get, Jan Abus. Abus guns should melt Karelians, and if there's enough Janissaries to block them as well, Jan's a strong musketeer as well, so they should do quite well, especially with the high HP as well. I think Jan, Abus, and then the 3 Hussar shipments be very nice indeed for Mr. Brownboy, the Osman player.
Yeah, muskets versus Karelians, matchup of like 30 versus 30. The muskets actually win that fight. So with Janissaries being that much stronger, I kind of expected to be Janissaries and perhaps a Janissary rush that could actually be a really, really good answer to Sweden. You have a lot of options as Ottomans, though. You could do a semi-FF, you could do a straight FF, and just try to get the, Botto FF and get the 2 Falconets, several Janissaries out, and try to do really well there. I don't actually expect Abus, just because Karelians, as you know, they're so fast, get on top of the Abus, and they have that multiplier versus them. You don't usually see Abus in 1v1 anyways.
So what else you could see then would be just, I guess, standard Botto FF into 8th Janissary combat, 2 Falconets, 1k coin into Mamelukes, or if maybe Sweden's going for a cav switch into a Manchu, also a nice option. Maybe Spahis could be the time we see them actually. Spahis in hand combat versus Karelians would be quite a fun sight to behold. But let's just stop speculating and see how the actual game is, because our game knowledge on this new game, new patch, like it's a delve into the unknown for us, and that's why this has been so interesting today. Is how old players pick up new civs, adapt to the new patch.
Right, and we'll take a look at the decks real quick for you guys. We see there is definitely room for both Abus. He has his Abus cards, and Bramboy also has all the necessary crates for a rush. He also has the necessary military shipments for a rush. He could also just go H3. He has the right cards in H3 to try to do a Botto FF kind of push. He also has H4. It's DE. It's not going to be an Imperial Hussar Revolt, but he does have the 2 Great Bombards. So on EP, previous to DE, you would sometimes see I think it was 8 Hussar shipment in H4 that you could use to try to make your opponent think you're going to do a revolt or something. Take a look over at Sir Callan's deck real quick. He has the 3 villagers. Once again, not blueberries. I've been curious whether blueberries is a card that would be used, but definitely not if you're trying to get units out fast. If you're trying to boom harder, it would be an option. I think it'd be okay having in a deck, just making your opponent think twice. Maybe Sweden is going to boom hard. I need to put some pressure, really get some units out quickly. But no blueberries. He does, let's see, all around, he has some pretty good cards overall.
Is that the grenade launcher I see there in the 3rd age?
No, this is not grenade launcher. This is Karelian and Hackaplete range and line of sight increase. So +4 range to Karelians and +1 range to Hackaplete.
They have so many upgrade cards. 4 range. 4 range on musketeers.
4 more range.
You gotta be kidding me.
Nope, I'm completely serious. 4 more range, and they also have 25% hit points in H4, and you can change all the Karelians to having.
Let's just move on. I've seen enough. That's the card I was talking about. Let's just move on. I've had Karelians.
Move on before you have a nightmare.
Yep. Moving on to ZD Flower, gifting another 5 subs to ESOC community.
Dang, ZD Flower, thanks, man.
I'm sure Octavia, Dacus, Firmivore, Silver Shield, and Well High will be very happy to receive those.
I love seeing hearing your reactions to Karelians.
It brings back bad memories. I've only had bad memories with them so far, and that's what hurts.
I wonder if this Torp's actually in range of the gold mine. That is really, really close.
That's such a nice idea as well, torping up the gold mine.
Yeah,
that should be in the range, but also you can fit 5 torps around.
You can fit 6.
Mine.
You can fit 6. You can.
Oh, okay. On a gold mine, that should be the objective,
right.
I think.
Right, you can fit 6. I don't think you'd be able to fit 6 here with this the edge of the map here. I know people have said 5, but I have very consistently done 6. It's very, very possible. Very. You got to pay a little bit of attention to how you place them, but I've done it time and time again. So you can fit 6, and it's not ideal though. On silver mines, I believe they are eaten up in I think 5 minutes. I think normally. So having and that's with 4 on it, I believe. You know what, my math is probably off. Don't quote me, but it's eaten up pretty quickly. On a gold mine though, it would be worth it to have 6 for sure. A little bit unlucky that's so close to the edge of the map. You're not able to get as many torps as you would like. Yeah, so we see a Janissary opening double barracks from Bramboy. We see Sir Callan on the other hand. He's got some Caroleans coming out. Market coming up now. So you're talking about how Sweden don't need market to have a decent eco. He's building it now. Second barracks coming up now also. That's interesting. One thing that Ashley have... Go ahead.
What other unit are you going to make as Sweden? Are you not going to make Caroleans?
Well, he does... No, he doesn't have the Fusilier card. It was Bramboy that had that last game. And this villager is going to go down before he gets to build a torp. Or she gets to build a torp. Yeah, you could go Cav, I suppose, but not into auto. You wouldn't go Cav as auto. So nice little pickup on that torp there for Bramboy. Yeah. This is kind of looking rough, I think, for Sir Callan. He's getting Inglesburg Ironworks in right now. He doesn't have enough units to deal with this. Go ahead.
I think we've got time, though. So the eco card for the tops has just come in with massing out Caroleans, and we're talking about how Mr. Bramboy is going Jan Abus Colonial Commerce Age. Pardon me, not Colonial Age anymore. I'm just going to go into Age Mythology mode and say it's the Classical Age. But the Abus guns potentially could get caught out here by Caroleans in hand combat. And there's a batch of 5 Abus guns crossing the map. If Callan is actually really he's just Mr. Bramboy's just ruined it. He's just poked off one Carolean. Caroleans are charging with their swords out in melee combat. They have 5.25 speed, closing very quickly. Those Abus guns are gone.
No, they weren't. The Janissaries come in, and Sir Callan pulls back. Really, really nice pickup from Bramboy. That's going to give him the advantage. I think Sweden's definitely on the back foot. I was saying we might not see Abus guns, but we do see Abus guns. So if there are Janissaries in front to protect from the Caroleans, be a meat shield, make sure the Caroleans don't get in melee on the Abus, then the Abus will be able to completely shred these Caroleans. The Caroleans have 150 HP, 30% melee resist. Obviously, that doesn't really matter to Abus. Abus are going to do 40 times 1.5, so they're going to do 60 damage. So they will 3-shot these Caroleans. Abus very, very strong versus heavy infantry. We do see reinforcing units from Bramboy being picked off. Really well done by Sir Callan. When you're behind, when your army's lower, when you can't engage it, sometimes the best thing to do, especially if you have fast units, is to pick off the reinforcements. That's going to give you a bit more of an advantage. And Sir Callan using tactical positioning to his advantage, doing as much as he possibly can. He might even try to siege down one of these barracks here. Yeah, he is. He's sieging down the barracks. I think he's going to take it out too. These Janissaries.
I think that's a really good play.
Yeah.
Mr. Bramboy now is seeing that. I don't think he has to stay age 2. If he's going to come back and fight this, he'll train some more units and go for that. He's trained 5 Janissaries, but they're going to get picked off. They're just outnumbered, outgunned, and outsworded, actually. The Caroleans, they're not going to go into range combat. Caroleans using their muskets? Lol. No, they're going to go into hand combat and just pin these Janissaries down. I think it's fair to say Janissaries aren't the best muskets used in hand combat, or maybe they have high base but low multipliers.
Yeah, they have hand attack of 7 compared to the Caroleans hand attack of... Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. Here we go here. Hand attack of 15. That 7 sounded really low. All right, so hand attack of 15 compared to the Caroleans hand attack of 20. The Caroleans have the same exact hand attack that they do have in ranged, I believe. Maybe? Let's see if we can see. Range attack of 14, so actually more attack in hand than in range. So that'd be really nice. 2 leather cannons coming out. The leather cannons are going to melt to the Abus, so you're going to have to be very careful, but if you micro it well, the leather cannons should do pretty well versus the Janissaries. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about 2 leather cannon. I suppose you need to send something that's going to bolster your army, and that's about as good as you get. But the one of the advantages of cannons, and leather cannon are kind of a pseudo cannon. They're kind of more of a skirmisher in a lot of ways, but they have a high range resist, a 50% range resist, and Avis guns shred that. They ignore the range resist. They're a siege unit in of itself, an artillery unit. And so they're going to ignore that range resist. So 170 HP, the Avis guns are going to do 40 times 0.5. So that is going to be 8 shots and each cannon will go down. So one volley, you could even split it up if you had perfect micro. I believe there's more than 16 Avis there. You could one-shot both of them if you had...
Look at the march of the Avis gun now. There was an opportunity. I think Callan, even after that, when those leather cannons were out in the fight foreign, I think there's an opportunity then for the Carolians just to go in hand combat and try and pick off the Avis guns and just basically roll a dice, 50-50, win or lose, and that could have closed the series out. But look at his Avis guns. Leather cannons going to come in, but need to watch themselves. Easy pick up for the Avis guns here. But I think there's just a critical mass now from Ottoman. He needs to keep his Avis guns close to the Jazzers, though. Here come the hand combat from the Carolians, and the Avis guns are a little too far forwards. They will just get behind the Jazzers, it does look like. And from there, I think the Jazz can hold it in place, but...
Oh, the one thing that's nice about the Carolians is they snare, and a lot of the Carolians are actually getting melted. But the Janissaries are still alive. They have really high HP, so they're really, really good meat shield, better than most muskets. They have the highest HP's base for a musket type unit. But all of the units go down. The Avis gun do pick off the leather cannon, and that is Brandboy on the back foot. This Carolian's doing really well. There's a lot left, and yeah, Swedish strong.
There's nothing to stop them now.
Yeah.
Callan even stopped off to use his musket attack, which is, you could even say, a little bit of mistake. He just needs to charge in, hand combat onto the Avis guns, just charge in. You have Minutemen to reinforce, pick up the Janissaries. Janissaries are not the damage dealers here. You need to think about damage dealers and what is the biggest threat. The Avis guns, they're exposed, he's going in, but look at that positioning for Mr. Brownboy. That's so smart. That is so smart. He's done so well there. Yeah,
the micro is amazing. You see how fast those Avis guns do melt those Carolians when they're at range. And that pop of that Janissaries going through the mine there, he actually keeps all of his Avis alive there when they looked like they were down to right. So really, really good micro from Brownboy there. And we see that he's got some more Avis out. I'm still curious about the option to go as many Avis as he is. I'd like to see a little bit heavier amount of Jans compared to Avis, perhaps like 2-to-1, but he's currently more like 2-to-1 in favor of Avis guns. He is picking up his Explorer now, and the Minutemen are going to go raid around the map, perhaps just scout a little bit. He's getting more Janissaries out. He recognizes that he needs more Janissaries than he does Avis, and he is macroing for that, building some more. He does have his TC idle, though. The musket upgrade has not come in yet, so that is idled. We'll go back to Sir Callan real quick. He's got more Carolians coming out. He hasn't fully torque boomed. He sent the Inglesburg Ironworks, and he's done a good job of trying to keep Brandboy back, but he doesn't have a whole lot of torps on the map, actually. He's got these are not on mine. He's got these 3 on a mine. He's got an idle villager on it, but his villagers are mining it. That mine will be gone in just a second. His torps will be useless there, at least for being on a mine.
TP, look at TP, yeah.
TP does go down. Nice pickup. Just has one Carolian finishing it off. Really good decision making from Sir Callan there. He gets away with almost all of his Carolians there. We do see a shipment of crossbows there, making more and more Carolians. Something I kind of would like to see, I don't know if it'd be good or not, is some cav. Having some cav, Sweden has really, really good cav. They have actually, they have an amazing amount of cards that affect their cav. Actually, I think they have, based on cards, they maxed out. If you're looking just at cards, they have more cards that affect HP of their cav than any other civilization. So yeah, cav would be an option. He does not have cards to do so. It's not really, well, this has hit points, but it's not something that's in the meta currently, even though the meta hasn't really been defined. So We don't really see Sweden going cab a whole lot. Yeah. Curious what I'm going to see here. Go ahead.
Yeah, so look how Callan is now raiding around the map with Karelians. He's pulling back the entire Ottoman army, and at this moment, Brandboy only has one trading post out on the map. So Callan is trying to take his first TP, but he's probably grouped his explorer with his Karelians by mistake, and he's pulled them off. Okay, no, he's going for it. Or is that? It might possibly be a UI error as well. It looks like, check if that's TP on the far left has been actually constructed, but
it has not.
The fact that oh no, it's just there's a Karelian stuck in the trading post and he can't build it.
That's what it looks like. It's a shame. I'm not even sure you
Okay,
recognize this.
I've decided we need to get ESOC TV to get a new emote with the phrase DE logic. We have one for EP logic, but that's now redundant because EP patches a thing of the past. May it rest in peace. But DE logic, there you go. But Karelian's charging down the Ottoman explorer. Callan, you can see he's now focused. He's trying to get some focus on that trading line. And if it's upgrade for stagecoach and you can control it, great. And if it then forces your opponent onto you in the open, Karelians can run around with their fast speed. Also great.
Yeah, Karelians look so freaking slow when they are in ranged mode. They look so fast and melee. It looks like night and day, doesn't it? It's crazy. All right, so it's looking like we're gonna have a fight pretty soon here. Pure Karelians. There's a few crossbowmen that were a shipment from Sir Callan. We'll take a look at the ages real quick, see if either player is aging. No, they're sticking in age 2. I like the army composition from Brandboy a bit more. However, Sir Callan does have faster units, so he does have the mobility advantage. That is not to be underrated. Mobility is huge and can totally make the difference on a map. If your opponent can't fight you because you're faster, then you can run away and live to fight another day and take all the fights you want. It's up to you when you take a fight if you have the mobility advantage. Assuming that, you know, your base isn't being pressured super hard, etc. We do see the Abyss guns and the Janissaries kind of coming over towards this mine here. Curious if they're going to take the villagers out here or not. Could be a nice touch.
Got some nice raids here from Sir Callan on the far north of the map and on the eastern map as well. I think there's 2 sets of hunting villages under pressure at the moment. Callan aged up to the 3rd age with 1,900 foods to spare. I bet he's wishing he was playing as Otto or India now and can spam those shipments requiring food. How is he going to spend 1,800 food? I don't know, but here's the timing. Abyss Guns, Jan want to come in and try to punish this age up. Veteran Karelians are being researched. No shipment available for the time being, but once the veteran Karelians come in and get a surround and snare from behind, I think there's enough units here to deal with actually the Janissaries. Abyss Guns are slightly far from the Karelians, can't pick them off just yet. They're focused on one ville. Veteran Karelians now in, and I think this is where the time's going to happen.
Yeah, those Abyss Guns are just going to completely melt these Karelians. And it's they're gonna be shredded. With the right upgrades, he doesn't have them currently, but the Abyss would even be able to do twice as much versus the Karelians. But we have this fight here, and lots of the Karelians are going down. But most of the Janissaries are down. There's some crossbowmen out on the side that Sir Callan has not used. But the army from Brandboy is just too formidable. He's going to need more Janissaries to keep those Abyss guns safe. He is going to pull back. He recognized that Sir Callan is age 3, and he could ship 2 Falconets. He has not done so yet, but 2 Falconets would be a pretty nice shipment for sure.
Callan's first shipment, Karelians.
Yeah.
Is there any Cav shipment here? Oh, he doesn't have a Hackapelites shipment. He just has basically a deck for Karelians, Falconets, and Mercs, and he hasn't got... Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he is moving in now. The TC is below half HP. The Karelians going in, knowing this is a do-or-die kind of moment. He's delivering 9 Karelians, but the Karelians are just going to melt to these Abyss. Once the Janissaries are down, though, they could run forward.
No. Once the Janissaries are down, the Karelians come out to play. Watch this. The Karelians are going to come out from that forward outpost, and they're all going to charge into melee. Kiting will be able to pick off most of these, but it only takes a couple to go into hand combat to really put the pressure onto Mr. Brownboy. And I think trading off here is okay, because you need to remember behind this, the eco difference. If you can trade off versus Brownboy's colonial army, you'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, the Jans just literally trying to body block. They're not even attempting to attack. They're just sacrificing themselves. But the Karelians are swarming the Aber's guns, and that is going to be it, isn't it? And
yeah,
GG boards. And like this there is why I've had some mixed emotions about playing against Sweden. You build the counter units to counter the Karelians, and you still type GG, well played afterwards.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, GG. I mean, I perhaps would have liked seeing a little bit more Janissaries than Abyss. Janissaries fare really well into Karelians, but Karelians, I mean, to Sir Callan's credit, he did play pretty well with Karelians, using the melee mode very effectively, charging in a lot, and just doing really well with them. And he does take it. That is 2-0 over to Sir Callan. So we'll check on the scoreboard real quick. It's
going to be 3-3, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be 3-3.
And the action keeps on coming.